What's up, guys? Dutch Boyd here, coming at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's great to see everybody. How are y'all doing? Grateful Mouse, it's good to see you, man. Grateful Mouse, big shout out to you. You definitely made Examol's birthday a good one. So thank you very much, man. What are we doing today? It's the weekend warm-up. It's the third biggest tournament of the week going on right now, and then we have a very small tournament in the background. Super small. A $5 tournament. Why are we playing this? Well, this is a special tournament is why. This is called a Show Me tournament. And what makes this tournament different is that every hand, the winning player of every hand has to show his hand, which I think it's a good format. I actually would take it a little, one step further. I have an idea for a poker variant called exposed poker, where every fold is face up, every single one, until the point where someone drags the pot and they fold face up. So every single time someone folds, it's face up, and then every street. At the end of every street, like pre-flop, the dealer would take the hand, the cards, and keep them from being exposed again, like turn them over. So it would basically be kind of like how stud works with the up cards. Every single street, you'd have information, but then it would shut down. So there we go. We see Peppershot firing at a pot-sized bet with 9-7 suited. I think it's a good tournament. It's a good format. I think that the more open information there is in poker, then the more skill there is. It's easier to correlate behavior. It's easier to correlate bet sizing. It just increases whatever skill edge you might have on somebody. Let's go ahead and make the raise here. 700. So it's kind of interesting, right? You really get to play a metagame with these guys, knowing that if they fold, you're going to have to actually turn over your hand. I like the format, and that's why we're playing it. $5, a $5 tournament. I wish it was a little bit bigger. But, yeah, that's what we've got on right there. Lays 6 of hearts, make the raise. And let's get back to what matters most, the weekend warm-up. Rome, for me, just came in with a raise. A little more than 3x, so I'm not really sure what to do with it. Pocket sevens. I just made the call, but if I'm going to make the fold here, I'm basically putting him on one of 4 hands, which I think he's a little wider than that. Let's make a little check raise. Find out. We've got Range Find in the stream saying break a leg. Dutch, thank you very much. Thank you. I feel like break a leg for acting. Maybe we could come up with something better, like more poker relevant. Like get those aces cracked, and that'd be like the poker equivalent of break a leg and good luck. Joe Kozlowski, good to see you, man. We got SD Bub in the stream. Always a pleasure to see you, SD Bub. Thanks again also for being one of the donators for that Annie for Autism event last week, SD Bub. Last weekend, the stream raised $400 for the Anti for Autism charity going at the Golden Nugget last weekend. 9-5 offsuit and Rome for me now limping. I think I'm gonna make the fold. Why did I fold that? I can go ahead and see if I can see a flop with 9-5. It just felt like I had taken too long, and then we got Zizzy here. I don't know why. But with 6-1, you can pretty much see any flop. Anaconda high-low, it's been a long time, man. Always a pleasure to see you in the stream. I hope that you're doing well. And I miss you, man. I miss you, Anaconda. We need to do some Hearthstone here pretty soon. We got BRB VFL. Welcome to the crew for another month. BRB VFL, it's showing you as just subscribed, but I'm pretty sure that you've been a part of the stream long enough, and that this is actually a resub. It doesn't matter. You know what? We're gonna have. Are you? Michelle is not gonna be on the stream today. She's got a. Can I show him? It would be all green screened out. You'd have a transparent face. Let me just preview it. I gotta be right back, guys. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Michelle's wearing a little face mask tonight. I wanted to see if it would actually work with the green screen, like if it would actually.
I have
be
green.
Like
I have
transparent, transparent face.
Yes, guys.
Okay.
I have a mud mask on. That's what it is, a mud mask.
I took mine off right before we came on stream.
That's right. Dutch did once agree to do one. I forgot.
One
You're
time
supposed
I did.
to do it.
One time I did.
Week.
She was like pushing, and she said, "Come on, try it out. You might love it." And I was like,
the best. Actually, it was probably the best your skin has ever been.
You know how many people out there are spending money every week or every month on some sort of weird face mask? Don't knock it till you try it, right? So I tried it,
and it was the most wonderful experience you ever had in your
entire life. It wasn't so bad. It was like, I wouldn't say I enjoyed it. It wasn't fun for me.
It was fun for you.
No, it wasn't. So we sat there with face masks watching Little Shop of Horrors. The director's cut,
which was very disappointing. I like that was the original, and they changed it because it didn't go well with the audience.
The director's cut is very much a sad ending to Little Shop of Horrors.
But we don't want to spoil it.
Can you really spoil a 30-year-old movie? I mean,
it's one of the best movies ever, guys.
Is that like really a thing? I feel like if you haven't seen Little Shop of Horrors by now, you're just probably not going to see it.
No,
it's worth seeing, though.
You didn't think that you were going to see it, you've never seen it. You actually didn't want the spoilers, remember?
I do.
You were like, don't spoil it.
Okay, guys, we're on a break. We're going to get the rebuy in, and instead of walking away for a few minutes, I do want to talk about something. Asdrubal B, saying, good luck, my friend. I was wondering if you got my email. And I did get your email, Asdrubal.
Oh, okay.
And I've been thinking about it. So basically, Asdrubal sent me an email, and he was it's a little bit of a long email. He says, getting close to the bubble. If I have 40 big blinds getting close to the bubble, I think that I do a good job playing aggressive, and usually get in the money in good condition to fight for the tournament. But if I have 20 to 30 big blinds getting close to the bubble, I usually have a tendency not to play and get chopped by the blinds and tightening up. And given the difference between the infinite gap between nothing and something, and then given we'll say in the tournaments he's playing about a 20-to-1 ratio of the win to the min cash. How much risk should you take to get into condition to win a tournament after the bubble? After the bubble? Before the bubble? It's a good question, Asdrubal, and basically what you're talking about, okay, is these are tough questions you're asking, which are going to be somewhat tournament specific. But let's get down to the point of your email, which is this: what should be your primary motivation when you're playing a tournament? Should it be to survive, or should it be to accumulate chips? I guess the answer to that usually is just it should be about chip accumulation. You should pretty much, most of the time, try to give yourself the best chance of outright winning the tournament. Because of the way that the tournament poker payouts are, they're just so top heavy that it's more important to have a very high slugging percentage, meaning that when you get into the money, you want the percentage of times that you get into the money and actually win or come in top 3 to be a fairly high percentage. It kind of seems a little bit perverse, because what ends up happening is you can have an in the money percentage which is too high, which is suggesting that you're not taking enough risks in the mid stage of a tournament and right before the bubble. I actually feel like if you have an in the money percentage that's higher than that's too much higher than 22%, then you're probably not playing. You might not even be playing profitable poker, because it's so important that when you make the money that you actually score heavy. That being said, the right way to think about this really is just in terms of expected value. What is your expected value in a tournament? And it's going to change as the tournament goes on. And when you look down and you have, there's certainly going to be some times, as Drupal, when you just need to knit it up. When you knit it up and you just take the money. And those times always suck, and those times are always going to be the times. It's really only going to happen when the bubble is right there, like stone cold, or maybe add 1 or 2 players, and your stack is just really, really short. So you have like 6 big blinds, and doubling up is, like the way you should think about it. What helps me as Drupal is imagine that someone tries to come in every single hand and offer you a certain amount of money to walk away from the tournament. Like right now, we have 17,743 in chips. We're 19 out of 54. We can look at the payout schedule. 8 places pay. We get the payout schedule up. First place is $2,468. So we've got a lot of variables here to work with. We've got the tournament average stack. Average is 9,300, right? So here's our variables to work with. If we look at 54 players left and 9,300 on average, we can kind of come up with a decent expected value for this tournament, assuming that our skill is just like even with and on par with everybody else. And the way that we would do that is we would take this average stack of 9,300, would multiply it by the players left. So roughly 540,000 chips in play, if I'm doing the math right. Let's just round down to make it a little bit easy. 500,000 chips in play, and we've got 17,000. So we do the division, and we say we're going to come in first, whatever percentage of our stack is compared to however many chips are, in total are in play. And we take that little percentage out. Papist, how are you doing, man? It's great to see you. It says, reply to your email and Twitch message me. I'll check it out here after the stream, Papist. Always a pleasure to have you here on the stream, and thank you very much for the continued support of the stream, man. It really means a lot to me. Thanks, Papist. You're the best. As Drupal, basically you do that for every single spot, and you add up all those expected results, and you come up with an expected value for the tournament. And right now we have a prize pool of 8,008. So if we take our stack 17,718 right here. Let me get a little calculator out. I feel like I should probably just use the built-in Windows calculator so you guys can all follow along. But just trust me on this. So we take 17,693. So by this number, assuming all things are equal, our percentage of winning the tournament outright is a little over 3%, 0.032%. And we can probably take that, with pretty much, hopefully our chances of winning are better than coming in second or third. They're probably not with our stack. But we could take 0.032, the percentage of what we have as far as all the chips in play, and we can take that out of the prize pool, so we can multiply 8,000 and kind of come up with a, hold on, let's go ahead and make the raise here. Come up with an expected value for this tournament, which this calculator is spitting out $262. $262 would be about a fair price, given the fact that we have 3% of the chips in play, and 3% of the total prize pool is about $262. So that's our expected value for this tournament. Now, once we get a little closer, right, the expected value changes, because if you come in, if you are, wow, let's just crush it. Let's just crush this flop. Not only do we want to crush this flop, but we want to also give them something to feel strong about. So give the ace-jack the ace. Give the ace-10 the ace. Give the ace-7 the top two pair. Still good. It's still good. The 8 of clubs shouldn't really change anything. Shouldn't change anything. I guess if someone had 5-4, that's pretty much the only way that 8 actually helps anybody. We don't want to see a spade. We don't want to see another ace or another 7. The 4 isn't a very good river for us either. Not so much because we're putting somebody on a 5. Jesus, Rome for me, man. Rome for me just backed into a straight.
Oh, Jesus. Man, it's hard for me to talk when I have a mask on, actually. My face is kind of glued to shut. Anaconda's here. He had a sinus infection. He's back.
How can I fold? How can I fold his hand, you guys?
Uh-oh. Dutch is an intense hand here.
I'm going to show you how I can fold the hand. I just hover the mouse over here to the fold button, and I click it. That's how we do it. That's how we fold that hand. Okay, so Asdrubal, what's our expected value now? Well, it's not as high as it was before that hand. Before we just hit a set of 6s and folded it on the river because we're just that sure that we're just gonna be that sure that Rome for me has a 5 in his hand. Yeah. That's why he had a 5 in his hand.
Did he?
I don't know. We'll never know. We'll never know, but yeah, I think so.
Nothing can be as bad as dying in rust.
That was rough. That was a really hard fold for me, guys, and I'm not sure if it was right. So let's pull up the calculator again. Now we have 12,206 out of 540,000. 12,206. 540,000 chips, which puts us at 0.022% of the total chips in play. So we multiply that by the total prize pool of about 8,000. So our expected value now, we just lost $80 in expected value in that specific hand, in that specific situation. We're at $181. Okay, so let's fast forward. By the way, I'm going to make the call here and hope for some sort of magic, getting more than 7-1. Let's fast forward now to when the tournament gets down to like 10 players. Or even better, let's say that it's 9 players and we have the exact same stack that we have, right? Somehow we just kind of struggled with this exact same small stack. It's not small right now, but by the time it gets to 9-handed, it will be. Okay? So we have the exact same stack that we have now, and someone's going to come along and say, "I'll give you $181 for this for you to walk away from the tournament." Would we do it? Hell no, hell no. Not if we're at the final table and we're on the stone cold bubble, 9 players left. At some, and only one until we get into the money, and our guarantee there is $360. Let's say that we have the same exact amount of chips and the bubble breaks, so we were guaranteed $360. Well, what is the right number? What's the walk away number there? It's certainly not $181 anymore if we're guaranteed twice that. So what we're seeing is this is what ICM is all about. When Asdrubal, when you were asking, when should I play tighter, when should I play looser, when should I knit it up to guarantee the money, and when should I go for broke, going for first place? What you're asking really is, is what the spirit of ICM is all about. Independent chip model. The idea that, and the best way to think about your tournament life and these questions is try to come up with, just constantly ask yourself that question: what is a fair price for my tournament life right now? What is the expected value of this tournament seat? And how can I increase that value? Right? So sometimes a way to increase that value is to sit on your hands and not play a single hand until the money bubble breaks. Other times, the way to increase that expected value in the tournament is going to be just to close your eyes, put your head down, and charge straight through. You're going to want to dial that aggression way up or way down, or kind of keep it in the middle. And it's not, there's not a general answer to it. I can't just say, oh, well, when you are close to the bubble, play aggressively. I mean, that's generally true, but there's going to be plenty of times when you're close to the bubble and you just need to sit on your hands. A 20 to 30 big blind stack is a tough one too, because once you get semi close to the bubble, you end up looking at your expected value, and you're not really sure how much of it is tied to that min cash. One thing that I would, one little piece of advice that I would give you, like a specific piece of advice, Asdrubal, though, is people feel like they are guaranteed that min cash way before they are. What ends up happening is people tighten up before they really should. So don't make that mistake of thinking that you're going to be able to just slide into the money without playing another hand 2 orbits before that actually is true. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself, once that money bubble breaks, with a very small stack that has no fold equity, and you basically have to win another tournament. You have to win like your next 2 hands, which is not, that's not really where you want to be in poker. Okay, guys, I don't do this a lot. I don't do it a lot. I'm going to show you guys what just